Hey, what is up, Taurus? This is your monthly forecast for the month of June 2016. Thank you so much for joining me, my fellow bulls. Briefly, before we get to your forecast, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a general reading for anyone who has their sun, moon, or rising/ascendant sign in the sign of Taurus, the bull. And if you would like a more personal reading, to do with anything in life, I would love to take a look for you. You can shoot me an email, which is in the description box below, and I will let you know all the details of how to pay for and book a reading with me. Yay! All right, well, on to your June forecast, Taurus. So Taurus, this month there's going to be a big focus on your second house, which is like your energy, okay, that you're very comfortable and familiar with, and also your third house of communication, which is going to shake you up a little bit and get you moving. Which a lot of Tauruses probably don't really like very much. But the reason why is because there's going to be a cluster of planetary activity in your second house, because the sign of Gemini is a sign right after you, so that's second to Taurus. This is your earned income. This is what the second house focuses on. We've got the sun there until the 20th. We've got a new moon there on the 4th. We've got Venus there until the 17th. And we have Mercury there starting on the 12th through the end of the month. So, the second house, earned income, Taurus is time to get really serious about managing your money, like you weren't already though, right? But it's going to be highlighted even more because wherever the sun is going to put a spotlight on that area of your life. So you may have some financial things that come to the surface. Maybe you thought you paid for something and you didn't, like you paid a bill, but you didn't, because Mercury was retrograde in your sign all through the month of May and through part of the month of April. So there could have been some fiascos that happened financially that you lost track of when Mercury was just whizzing around backwards over your head. And now the sun in your second house brings it to light. Like, hey, you forgot to pay this bill, Taurus, and this one, and this one. You paid it short. You canceled your auto pay and you forgot. You know, you may have done some harebrained things while Mercury was in retrograde with your finances. So now is the time to fix them because they're being brought to your attention. If you are looking for a job, Taurus, sun in the second house, excellent time, okay, because the spotlight will be on you as far as how you earn your money. Venus in the second house, Venus rules money, you know, and it rules like material things. So this is adding to the positive energy that's there for if you're trying to get a new job or maybe get a second job, or maybe start turning a hobby into a business, because the second house also rules some creative talents. It's one of the houses that rule that. So take advantage of that if you're trying to get a job and make more money, more money. Now, a new moon there on the 4th of June. This new moon is going to be very interesting, Taurus, because this new moon is going to be in your second house of how you earn your money. So a new job can come about. However, I must let you know, it's got some challenging aspects to it. It's got a square from Jupiter, a square from Neptune, and opposition from Saturn. It's in conjunction with Venus, which can be good, but the Neptune, the Saturn, oh yeah, you know, and the square to Jupiter, those can be a little bit tough. Let me explain. Jupiter is in your 5th house, Saturn is in your 8th house, and Neptune's in your 11th house. Venus and the new moon are in your 2nd house. So let's do the math. With the 2nd and 8th house opposition, especially with the thing to Saturn, Saturn is a very serious planet. He doesn't play games. So if you messed up anything when it comes to your finances, Saturn in the 8th will check you on it, especially if you have joint finances that you have with a partner. You know, if any fiascos come about that you have to fix, your partner is going to be that Saturn person. He's going to represent Saturn and be like, really, Taurus? Really? You did this? You screwed this up? Oh my gosh, I don't know about you anymore. Just kidding. But Jupiter in the 5th and Neptune in the 11th. Now, these are both houses of like dreams and doing like fun creative stuff and doing what you want to do whenever you want to do it and just going for it. Jupiter just wants to go for it, right? It's optimistic about everything. Neptune is like, it doesn't care about rules or boundaries or anything. So I would say when it comes to money decisions, be very careful with them around the new moon or even after the new moon, because the new moon is like energy that's going to last from 1 month to the next, okay? So from this new moon until the next one, your financial decisions, don't leap before looking, okay? Tauruses are usually very good with that. but I know some of this energy that's going on can throw you off track. So just be very careful with your finances when it comes to the new moon. With your decisions of getting a new job, if you get a new job around this time, yes, definitely be careful with those decisions and make sure that you are reading all the fine print, especially because Mercury is still going to be in your sign. It's coming out of shadow the day after the new moon, but it's still going to be in shadow and it's still going to be in your sign. And Mercury being in your sign makes your mind go like, woo, like whiz around like really fast and crazy. The good thing is it's direct, so decision making is going to be better, but it's still going to be like really active, have an active mind in the first house. So don't leap before you look. Really think about your decisions before you make them. Tap into your natural energy of Taurus and just be very smart about your financial decisions. So as I mentioned, Mercury is still going to continue to be in your sign, making you want to be such the busybody and think fast, and it may be hard to sleep at night, you know, without thinking about a whole bunch of stuff and staying up late and your body wants to catch up. Oh, this is not natural for Taurus to be that way. We like to take things slow, take our time to think, make lists, you know, and things like that. So Mercury in the first, especially when it was retrograde, ooh, child, let me tell you, I know the struggle, Taurus. I'm a Taurus too, so I know the struggle. But now Mercury is moving forward. Mercury is going to move into our second house. So even though it's in the crazy thinking fast sign of Gemini, our second house is our house because we're the second sign. So it's a little more comfortable energy for my Taurus as far as how your thinking processes are going. And this shift happens on the 12th of June. So from the 12th on, your mind is going to be on your finances and fixing things, because Mercury, it likes to fix. It likes to, you know, look around and see what it can do and like fix little things. And especially being in Gemini, Gemini is like great with hands, great with thinking fast. So thinking fast when it comes to fixing things in regards to your finances. But like I said, don't make too quick of decisions when it comes to spending, or, you know, make sure you double check everything if you're submitting payments online or what have you. Just be very careful in the finance department. Now, the energy is going to shift towards the middle to end of the month to your third house, because we have the sun moving into Cancer on the 20th, and a few days before that on the 17th, Venus is going to move into Cancer. This is your third house. So this is a great time to get hooked up with somebody if you're looking for love, by somebody that you know, like, you know, through a friend, through a sibling, through somebody that you know that you see on a daily basis, like a coworker, or you visit like someplace that you run errands to, and hey, you know, the cashier at the supermarket might be like, yo, Taurus, you're single still, right? Ooh, I've got somebody for you, and they are financially stable and everything. So if you're looking for love, that's a possible scenario that can happen. But Venus in the third in Cancer, I would say this is a great time because Cancer is an energy that really loves food, just like us Tauruses. Hello. We really love food. So we can go out and try new restaurants even more during this time. Tauruses, we don't really like a lot of change, but you know what? This third house energy is going to give us a little boost as far as enjoying change a little bit. The energy of Cancer likes to stay in its shell, you know, but it's the third house, so we may want to be like, okay, well, I'm going to try some new things, but with familiar people, like my family, my cousins, my sister, my brother, or my significant other that I already have. You know what? But yeah, I'll try new things. Okay, we can do them together. That way I won't be too scared of them. So on the 29th of June, Mercury is going to move into Cancer. And so it's going to catch up with the Sun and Venus. So this is more third house and Cancer energy, and this is like a sneak peek into July, the first part of July, what the energy is going to be like. So just prepare yourself. Mercury going into your third house, it'll have your mind whizzing all over again, just like when it was in Taurus. A few other things about Mercury. Now, Mercury was in retrograde, as we already mentioned and spoke about. It comes out of its shadow period on the 5th. Before that, things are still a little, you know, shaky as far as communication and your thought processes. So just remember, the 5th comes out of shadow. On the 9th and 10th, around those days, Mercury is going to oppose Mars retrograde in Scorpio. So Mercury is still going to be in your sign in Taurus, and it's going to oppose Mars and Scorpio in your 7th house. So this can cause a little bit of tense conversations and conflicts between you and a partner during this time. So remember, the 9th and 10th is a time where you may want to keep in mind that the energy is intense, and if any issues come up, really dig down to the deep part of, So if any issues come up, really dig deep beneath the surface, because Mercury is very surface level. It's like, I just want to take this information real quick and run away with it, okay? But Mars wants to dig deep and say, no, I want to get down to the bottom of this issue and this conflict, and I want to get it taken care of. I want to get it resolved. I don't want it in my life anymore. So you know what? Mercury and Mars opposition, Taurus and Scorpio, ooh, it may be an explosive time. So just keep that in mind. Keep your cool, keep your calm, Taurus, but still get to the bottom of things and just work it out. Now the full moon happens on the 20th of June, and this is in Sagittarius, and this is in your 8th house. Ooh, so this is at 29 degrees Sagittarius, which is very interesting because 29 degrees is the very last degree of a sign. So last month in May, we had a full moon, a very intense full moon at 1 degree Sagittarius, and it was in conjunction with Mars, and this was in your 8th house. So some Tauruses could have had like some conflicts, major conflicts come up to the surface with somebody that they share a deep, intimate bond with, or they share finances with. There could have been something like that that comes up, or it could even be over shared property, shared resources. Even like divorce and custody and things like that are ruled by the 8th house. So something could have come up to the surface during that time. And now with the moon, full moon this month being in the same house, but at the very last degree, that's a degree of completions. So this is the time to have a grand finale to whatever came up last month around the full moon. Now going back to Mars in Scorpio, Mars is going to go direct June 29th at 23 degrees Scorpio. Hallelujah. This is in your 7th house. So it's going back through your 7th house again, digging up some issues for you to work out. This can be like with a past partnership, you know, because it's Scorpio. Scorpio kind of hangs on to things, just being completely honest. So it could have been past partnerships or even a current partnership that you had to really go back over some problems and work them out and come together to a final decision. Now Mars is going to be in the sign of Scorpio until August 2nd. But like I said, the 29th of June, it goes forward. It stops going back. So any problems that were brought back up again and dug up by Mars in regards to your relationships, now you can move forward and proceed. The last thing I want to tell you guys about for June, Tauruses, is your 11th house is activated by some retrograde action with Chiron and with Neptune. Now, these are both in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces. On the 13th of June, Neptune goes retrograde, and on the 27th of June, Chiron goes retrograde. Chiron is the wounded healer, and Neptune is very compassionate. So these are both healing energies. So this may give you an opportunity to heal when it comes to friends and groups. You know, maybe a friendship that was kind of dissolved while Neptune was there. Maybe you have an opportunity to go back in a compassionate way and heal that friendship. Just being honest, like some painful things can be brought up again, you know, with Chiron being there. But like I said, Neptune is compassion. So it just wants everybody to get along. It wants pure divine love. So if any type of hurtful, painful things come up, you know, there is an opportunity to heal and to just give love and do it with love, Taurus. Alright, so that was it for your forecast for June. I hope it was insightful for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for even just watching them. I really appreciate it. And remember, if you would like a personalized reading that goes more in depth for you as a unique individual, shoot me an email and I would love to help you out. Alright, Taurus, well, take care. I will see you guys next month in July. Mwah! Peace.